During the first 2 weeks since our first arrival in Asunción, Paraguay, the weather was balmy and it felt like spring. The trees were rich and flowers were blooming. It made me content and delighted. We strolled to the shopping malls and walked around the neighborhood. Unfortunately, after some time living in Asunción, we have been experiencing bad things. First, about the weather. In summer, it is extremely hot and the temperature suddenly changed from 37 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius in just an hour. Even though the sun goes down or is behind the clouds, it's blistering hot outside and there is no cold water from the top. I don't recommend you live in Asuncion if you have young children. In my opinion, Paraguay is good for expats who are a retired couple that doesn't like to travel. If it's enough for you to spend your time outdoors in parks where you can hear vehicles, as they are located along the highways and in shopping malls, then this place is perfect for you. In the first place, I didn't like moving to Paraguay, but only this country could have given us permanent residency and an easy way. And we wanted to live in a country which is far away from Europe, as in the long run we expect that there will be a global war. Second, unsafe places. It is not safe for foreigners to walk around downtown Asuncion. And 6 months living in Paraguay, we just awakened that this city is not safe at all. Recently, we visited a Costanera, an avenue along the bay just outside of the old center. And there was an outdoor amusement park. It wasn't crowded and we enjoyed a nice view where we could see the lake. We parked our car nearby and walked down the slope to check the water. We spent about 15 minutes there as there was a tubby woman stressing us and kept following us begging for money. We had no cash to give her. She didn't stop following us and I was worried that she might stab us. We had our daughter. It was even more stressful on the way back to the car. And when we got inside, she stood by the car door and continued to pester us while making lots of scratches in our car, as we discovered later. My husband was calm and started the engine unhurriedly and she moved away. But I was so stressed after we left and I recalled the stank face of a lady as I took a photo of her while she scratched the car. I have never been experiencing this situation in my country. After this situation, I was sick for 3 days, and every time I see the scratches, it reminds me of her. Next, the time we went to a zoo before entering, a lady warned us not to go to the right side as there was a suspicious man, and we felt unsafe. If you're here in Paraguay, you better not explore the city anywhere you want, and the only safe places to go are the parks where there are security guards or shopping malls. I suggest to you bring a spare wallet with a small amount of cash for beggars in case they snatch your wallet with your IDs. There are lots of beggars by the main streets who wait for the red light to accost you. A lady with a baby is asking for help, and there are many young children and adults offering windshield cleaning, though it's not necessary as it is clean. I am differential to the poor who work for money in a polite way, but it's hard to feel empathy towards those who beg for food impolitely. Third, the quality of roads. Well, the roads are poorly designed and there are hanging electric wires everywhere. There's poor pavements that are not meant for strollers. Low quality drainage that causes floods when it rains a lot in our neighborhood. And there is too much water coming out from the sewers. And water flows through cracks in the asphalt and remains in the middle of the road. There are many potholes, dangerous curves, improper warning signs, poorly placed signs, and traffic signals. How chaotic the road is. And it's stressing me every time we cross the road. We also experienced many electrical shortages and blackouts in our area. Having difficulty finding a house for sale. It's really hard to decide where to settle in Paraguay. There's nothing interesting that Paraguay can offer us. They have low quality public playgrounds. Small recreation grounds by the highways, and there's a safety limit if you want to go around and explore more. As I noticed, most houses have their own guard here in Asuncion. It's quite expensive to settle here, and also pricey to go to the dental clinic. They don't have a natural indoor playground where children can gather and play without any machinery toys. Every day we have to think about a safe place where we can hang out and play with our daughter outdoors. There's no such wild park where you can have a long walk in the shadow of trees, as they have apparently cut out most of the trees for import in the past. That's why we're not convinced enough to live here in Asuncion, especially that we live with an active child who really likes to go out often. We also looked for a space to live that would be a bit away from the city, but the houses for sale were old and we didn't like them so much. There are lots of poor quality houses and a lot of work to do to renovate them. Besides, it's not inexpensive and there's not enough space for gardening. We're not sure how safe the place is and also if the neighborhood is peaceful and quiet. Most houses look nice on the outside, but the inside is not. Many people like to have walls painted with saturated colors. Moreover, they often have tiles inside that are supposed for outside use. The interior design is not modern, it's too narrow, and there are small windows which are not enough to let some natural light from outside. I really miss living in such a country where they have wild parks and small hills to hike and recreation spots away from the highways so that you could fully enjoy nature. Since we couldn't find a place to live in Paraguay, we are planning to move out to another country somewhere in South America, where there are more things to do and where we feel like unsafe to explore nature, walk around the neighborhood, parks, and feel free to stroll around the downtown. International shopping. A person was stuck in Paraguay customs and to collect it, we were asked the same amount as we paid for it. We didn't agree and we decided to give away the parcel rather than paying twice. Another thing is that they don't have local online shops where we would be able to purchase pre-owned items and new ones. The home appliances here are much more pricey as compared to the prices from international online shopping. Well, it's better not to take risk importing a product if you can't be sure you will have to pay additional customs duty. It's better to inquire first how much you have to pay for imported goods. There's probably a limit to purchasing products from abroad in order not to pay tax. That's all I can say about the cons of Asuncion Paraguay based on our experience and observation. It doesn't mean we hate the place, it is not what we expected from life here. We would like to live in such a country that has more things to offer, especially nature and a safe place to live. We thank Paraguay as it is the easiest place to get residency permits, and we feel safe away from Europe. Well, to those who want to move here in order to avoid danger during nuclear war, it's your choice. Spanish is necessary and life is harder without knowing it. Even though life is hard in Paraguay, it's better than life in Poland right now. We were agitated that Russia might attack us while we were still there. And also they might send policemen to Ukraine to fight against Russia. At this time here, we are thankful living in Paraguay temporarily. Being an expat in a new country is challenging. You will be experiencing stress, sickness, and fretfulness. It is a part of our life to have difficulties that test our strength and faith. And it will be like that until the end. The tests that we have faced are manageable, and we are able to overcome all the challenges as long as we have faith in the Almighty God and trust with Him.